Welcome back to Impactful Conversations. I'm your host, Moo.
And I'm Rick. This is the podcast where we help you learn English by discussing powerful ideas that can genuinely change your life for the better.
Exactly. We believe that learning a language is about more than just vocabulary and grammar. It's about connecting with new ideas and new ways of thinking.
That's so true. And today, we are diving deep into a topic that affects absolutely everyone: habits. Specifically, how to build good ones and actually make them stick.
Oh, the million-dollar question. I think everyone has a list of habits they want to have but struggle to maintain.
Absolutely. In our last lesson, we introduced a powerful first step, the 2-minute rule, which is all about making your new habit incredibly easy to start.
Right, just master the art of showing up, even if it's just for 2 minutes.
Precisely. But today, we're taking the next crucial step. We're going to figure out the ideal time and location to insert that new, tiny habit into your life. In other words, we're going to find a clear and specific space for your new habit to live.
Giving our habits a home. I like that analogy. So, where do we start?
Well, let's start with a common misconception. Many people think they fail at building habits because they lack motivation.
Oh, I've definitely felt that way before. I'll have a bad day and think, I just don't have the willpower to go to the gym today.
Right. We all blame motivation. But what people often really lack is clarity.
Clarity. What do you mean by that?
I mean, it's not always obvious when and where to take action. We have a vague goal, like eat healthier, but we don't have a clear plan for how to execute it in our daily lives.
That makes so much sense. It's like having a destination for a trip, but no map to get there. You know you want to arrive, but you have no idea which road to take or when to leave.
That's a perfect analogy. So our job today is to draw that map, because if you can find the right time and the right place for your new habit, everything else just seems to fall into place.
Okay, so I'm sold on the problem. We need clarity, we need a map. How do we create it?
One of the most effective and well-researched ways is to use a strategy called an implementation intention.
Implementation intention. That sounds a little bit academic, a little complicated.
It does, but the concept is wonderfully simple. An implementation intention is just a plan you make beforehand about when and where to act.
Ah, okay. So for our English learners, to implement means to put a decision or plan into effect. So this is your intention for how you'll put your habit into effect.
Exactly. It's not just saying, I want to meditate more. It's planning the specific details in advance. And the science behind this is truly compelling.
Oh? Tell me more.
Well, scientists have conducted hundreds of studies on this. They've found that if you make a clear implementation intention, you are 2 to 3 times more likely to follow through with your plans and stick to your habits.
Wow. 2 to 3 times more likely? Just from making a specific plan?
That's right. And this holds true across a huge range of behaviors. It works for building habits like recycling, studying, going to sleep early, stopping smoking, and many, many others.
So it provides the clarity we were talking about earlier. Your brain doesn't have to make a decision in the heat of the moment. The decision has already been made for you.
You've hit the nail on the head. It automates the process.
Okay, this is fantastic. So what does this look like in practice? Is there a simple way to create one of these intentions?
There is, and it's incredibly simple to apply. All you have to do is fill out this sentence. I will. Behavior. At. Time. In so location.
I will be at time in location. That's it? That's the magic formula?
That's the magic formula. It forces you to be specific. Let's walk through some real-world examples so our listeners can really see how it works.
Great idea.
Okay, so let's take that vague goal of I want to eat healthier. Using the formula, what could that become?
I will make a green smoothie at 7 a.m. in my kitchen.
Perfect. See how specific that is? The behavior, the time, the location. It's crystal clear. How about another one? I should stretch more.
That could be, I will stretch for 2 minutes at 9 p.m. in my bedroom.
Exactly. You've even tied in the 2-minute rule there. Let's do a few more. What about a relationship goal, like staying in better touch with your partner?
I will send my partner a check-in text at the beginning of my lunch break in the office.
Or for a student trying to study more consistently?
I will open my textbooks at 7 p.m. at my desk in my dorm room.
And here's a great example of linking a new habit to an old one. Instead of, I should be tidier, what about this? I will make my bed immediately after I turn off my alarm in my bedroom.
Oh, that's powerful. The existing habit, turning off the alarm, becomes the trigger for the new one. So the crucial step here, the real art, is finding the right time and location to insert the new habit into your existing daily routine.
That's it. You are looking for that single, decisive moment where your new habit should live.
And the more specific, the better, Iason.
Absolutely. Your implementation intention must be specific and clear. Let's look at a few more sharp examples. How about drinking more water? A great one is, I will drink 16 ounces of water after I brush my teeth in my bathroom.
The trigger is brushing your teeth. You're already in the bathroom. The water is right there. It's almost effortless to just fill a glass and drink it.
Exactly. Or here's one for managing clutter. I will recycle the junk mail after I get the mail at noon in the mailroom.
So you handle it immediately, right at the source, instead of letting it pile up at home. The action is linked directly to the context.
Precisely. And here's one for productivity. I will rank my priorities for the day at 8:30 a.m. at my desk. It gives your workday immediate structure.
This also highlights how important it is to be realistic about when and where you choose to do your habit.
It's incredibly important. That choice can make a huge difference. For example, if you're trying to add meditation into your morning routine, but your mornings are absolutely chaotic,
Right, and your kids keep running into the room while you're trying to find your zen.
then that may simply be the wrong place and the wrong time for that specific habit. You are setting yourself up for failure.
So you have to be honest with yourself. Consider when you are most likely to actually be successful. Don't ask yourself to do a habit when you know you're likely to be busy or distracted with something else.
That's the bottom line. The more tightly bound your new habit is to a specific, realistic time and location, the better the odds are that you will notice when the time comes to act and actually follow through.
This has been so clear and helpful, Rick. Let's do a quick summary of what we've covered, like a week 1 recap for our listeners who are building habits along with us.
A great idea. The first and most foundational point is that true behavior change is identity change.
Yes, we talked about this before. Anyone can convince themselves to visit the gym once or twice, but if you don't change the belief behind the behavior, the change won't last.
Exactly. Improvements are only temporary until they become part of who you are. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become.
I love that. A vote for the person you wish to become.
Second key point. A habit must be established before it can be improved. You need to master the art of showing up. That's the 2-minute rule. Don't worry about perfection, just start.
Just build the foundation first.
And third, our main focus today. If you can master the right habit at the right time, everything falls into place. The more tightly bound your new habit is to a specific time and place, the better your odds of success.
So, with all that in mind, what's the progress check-in for our listeners this week? What's their homework?
It's very clear. By the end of this week, you should have 2 things written down. First, a 2-minute version of a habit that reinforces your desired identity.
Okay, got it. The tiny version of your habit.
And second, a clear and specific implementation intention for adding it into your daily routine. You should be able to state it perfectly using our formula.
I will be at behavior, at time, in location. That's the goal.
And that is your mission for this week. Remember, it is not about perfection. It's about getting started with clarity and building consistency.
We would genuinely love to hear your implementation intentions. You can share them with us on our social media channels. It's a fantastic way to practice your English and get some accountability from the community. That's a great plan for getting started. But Rick, I can already hear some of our listeners thinking, this sounds great in theory, but what happens when life gets in the way? What are some common pitfalls people encounter?
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on Impactful Conversations.
Keep learning, keep practicing, and we'll talk to you next time.